Baseball game day experience with MLB opening day pick'em presented by Chevrolet. Restrictions apply. See rules and enter at MLB.com/pick'em. Back at JetBlue, Will Middlebrooks, Dave O'Brien, and Jemai Webster with you. Masa Yoshida tagging one for a 2-run homer, and no doubter. Sox have a 2-1 lead. Last day of the spring. And the Sox coming home.
How many first pitch swings have we seen so far from the Atlanta Braves?
Just about everybody.
Up there hacking. It feels like one of those games late in the minor league season where, you know, for fun, you use the same bat and go up there hacking. We used to do that at the end of some of those seasons.
It feels like the last day of the regular season. You know, we have, in particular, if two teams are out of it completely.
Yeah.
And everyone's up there hacking away. If the game doesn't mean anything. High deep drive. Duvall on the move. Yoshida 2, and Duvall will take it on the warning track for the first out of the inning. How closely are you following the Final Four?
Pretty closely. I mean, any sport, whether there's a tournament or a playoff system, I love watching the best of the best compete. And the Final Four, I mean, or the March Madness in general, is just such a good time. It's a great time of year for sports.
Red Sox have a number of connections to teams that have advanced to the Final Four in the men's tournament. Of course, Alex Cora, who was inducted to the University of Miami Hall of Fame in '06 after leading the Hurricanes to the College World Series 3 times. And he is closely following his Canes. Assistant hitting coach Ben Rosenthal played 2 years at San Diego State. Greg Allen has been one of the extra outfielders, played 3 years at San Diego State University as well. It's been a huge story that they advanced. FAU.
That's a fun story.
That's a fun.
9 seed.
What a shock.
Jeez.
And none of the number 1 seeds made it. None of the number 2. None of the number 3. It's been amazing. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Rosario fans.
FAU's arena holds 2,900 people, and they're going to be playing in front of 80,000.
2,900.
Yeah. Looks like a high school gym, like a big high school gym.
Love it.
So good for them and their entire program.
Arcia will be next. Rosario down hacking.
I live over there about, I don't know, 20 minutes from their campus, and I mean, everyone's fired up over there, as they should be.
Well, and of course, here locally, several years ago, it was Florida Gulf Coast.
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With their magical run.
We were all going out to watch them play.
Dunk City.
Yeah, that's right. Dunk City.
2 down. Tried to check in there for a strike.
Can't believe that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
Felt like yesterday.
Cutter Crawford threw a very good changeup. He got a check swing on last at bat against Rosario. That is a 4th pitch we've seen from him today, and he's majorly a 2-pitch guy. So this has been really good to see him add on, especially if he's going to be in the rotation.
Bueno, señores, aquí estamos en el sprint training, esperando turno Ronald Acuña de Venezuela.
To center, hangs up. Duvall with the grab. Fast inning for Cutter. Gets him 1-2-3.
Foundation 50/50 raffle presented by DraftKings raises critical funds for our local communities. Fans over 18 years old in Massachusetts and Florida can buy raffle tickets at redsox.com/5050 through the 5th inning of today's game for a chance to win half of the net jackpot. See official rules for full details.
Oh, what a day for ice cream.
Could go for that.
Like every day is not a day for ice cream.
That's a good point.
Today, you know, up in the middle 80s, getting hotter. No, Dad, I'm on camera. And I'm on camera. Don't mess with me when I'm on camera. Tristan Casas leading things off. Red Sox up 2-1. So the last few days here, the spring training games, we talk about the results have meant almost nothing. You know, who wins or loses the games, it's rarely important, but certain guys are checking boxes. You know, Rafi, his first home run the other day. Officially here, of course, coming back from the WBC. Same with Masa. Casas with a high deep drive center field. That one's going to carry way back. That one goes, and that ball's gone. 4th of the spring for Tristan as he touches them all. Red Sox are hitting some bombs here today.
I am so intrigued by this kid. Literally everything about him, whether it's just how you have a conversation with him and the things that come out of his mouth, how calculated he is, defensively how good he can be, and then we know like he just controls an at bat. He gives you a quality at bat, but he's not up there just searching for a walk. If you miss over the plate, he will do this. That's a bomb. This is a big league hitter already at such a young age.
Against truly a veteran big league pitcher.
Right. And Charlie made good pitches. I mean, curveball down the zone that probably gets a lot of swings from young hitters because they're so aggressive. He took it. He spit on it and then got a good pitch to hit.
Plucked at third by Riley to set down Christian Arroyo. One man out. I'm with you on Casas too. I think he's a fascinating guy, and I've seen some projections and I'm like, wait a minute, have you seen the size of this guy, and have you seen the swing? This guy can hit 25, maybe more this year.
He just makes the best swing decisions in their lineup, in my opinion. And there's some good hitters in there, but he swings at exactly what he wants to swing at. If it's not that, with less than 2 strikes, he takes it. He's so disciplined.
This is the reason that, you know, if it's my lineup card, and thank God it's not, but if it's mine, he's batting low in the order, the middle of the order.
I like him in the middle just because of what he just did.
I mean, lower than the leadoff spot is, I guess, what I'm saying.
Right.
I get the idea because he can get on base, he'll take walks and all of that. I just don't think he goes up there looking to take ball 4, which I love.
It comes across that way because he does it so often. He just doesn't expand his zone.
Yeah, you start to think, who are the guys I'm going to watch from Jump Street on Thursday and track, you know, and really get excited about potentially, and he is absolutely at the top of the list.
Well, I think the rest of the baseball world is going to get to know the name Tristan Casas as well.
He's made a terrific play at first, and he's hit a home run today, and it's the 2nd inning. Reese McGuire, followed by Kike Hernandez. Sox on top, 3-1. Just in case you missed it, Corey Kluber is the opening day starter. Be the 6th time in his career that he was named the opening day man. Had 5 in a row with Cleveland.
Yeah, those were not fun years. Step in the box against him.
Two. Good at bat here. 8th pitch coming. So he's having a similar at bat to the one Marcelo Ozuna had against Cutter Crawford.
What was that, 10 pitches? 10? Yeah.
Longest at bat I ever saw, ever called in the big leagues, was Alex Cora.
No kid.
Yeah, ball 4 here. It was 18 pitches.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of them, you know, 14, 15, but 18 pitches, and it was the way it ended that I'll never forget. He hit a 3-run homer on the 18th at Dodger Stadium.
Wow. That's cool.
That's just like, you're not getting me out. I don't care if you're Sandy Koufax, you're not getting me out. Kike hacking right away, hitting 125 without a home run for the spring. He will be the everyday shortstop come opening day. Kike has always said, you know, he played spectacular center field for the Red Sox. I mean, Gold Glove caliber outfield, really. Could have easily won a Gold Glove. He wouldn't have been shocked at all. He always said, I am an infielder who plays outfield. Big fight here by Arcia, but he'll haul it in. 2 down. So Kike very much in his comfort zone. Top of the order now in Verdugo. Alex 0 for 1. He has grounded a short. He will be an occasional leadoff man. He will not be alone in that role. Alex Cora is going to move guys around. at the top of that order.
You can see Arroyo slipping in that spot a few times.
Yes. I like that fit.
I do too. I like Kike at the bottom just because when he gets hot, you know, he can flip the lineup. He acts as a second leadoff man in that position. And like when he gets hot, he can carry you for a week.
Yeah, he carried the Red Sox for the month of October.
Right.
In 2021. One of the best Octobers I've ever seen.
Look at the burp.
Lavender
Poppy. That's what he wants to be called. That's what he told me, jokingly, but I'm going to stick with it.
2-1 on Verdugo. Rafi Devers, who's ripped a double, on deck.
I mean, between the turquoise and the lavender, got a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Only certain people can pull that off, and I am not on that list.
No, he may be that list.
He is the entire list.
He can pull it off. Just missed.
Just below the knees.
A good take by Verdugo. 3-1.
We've seen a lot of 2-0 and 3-1 off-speed pitches this spring. I wonder if that continues here.
In play to first. Olsen will have that. And that will retire the side. Red Sox with a blast from Casas, and now on top 3-1.
Blue Park, Red Sox on top 3-1 now in the top of the third thanks to the Tristan Casas blast, and it is the final day of spring training, yet the Red Sox still have some clarity to be made as far as their 26-man roster is concerned. Alex Cora and his Red Sox group said they still have one more pitching decision to make as well as a position player to change, and prior to his pregame availability, Cora said that there will be no announcements yet. Everything still remains on the table, including external moves. I asked him about how things have been coming down to the wire like this as opposed to years past, and he said it's the nature of the business. These roster decisions are based on now and on the future. One thing he did assure us would happen on Thursday, though, guys, is that day we will have a 26-man roster.
I appreciate that assurance. We're going to get to the number on Thursday, and that's the end of that. Acuna Jr. stings another one. He's 2 for 2. His second single today off Cutter Crawford. And that's how the third inning gets underway with the Red Sox ahead of Atlanta 3-1.
So you said 1 for 1. All right, take me out of the game. Now 2 for 2. Drive me directly to Washington. Yeah, to D.C. Take me straight there.
Take me to the airport right now,
yes,
sir. I have 2 knocks. I'm done for the day. Matt Olson 0 for 1. He's popped up to third. Red Sox open up against the Orioles and a 3-game series, remembering that Thursday is at 2 o'clock. Friday is an open date. And then Saturday, another afternoon game. That's when Chris Sale gets his first start of 2023. Red Sox home for the first week. The Pirates come in after Baltimore, and then the Red Sox go to Detroit for their first road trip.
You got to like the way that schedule looks for the first couple weeks.
Boy, I sure do.
Yeah.
I think there's an opportunity to get off to a quick start here.
Yeah, it's important to get off to a good start, but at the same time, it's really not the end of the world if you don't. I'm not saying games don't matter in April. Every game matters because it's accumulating your record, but there's a lot of games to play in a season, and a lot can happen. So if it is a slow start, it's not the end of the world. You just got to get hot at some point, but you do want to get out of the gates.
This one cranked by Olsen deep to right field, sailing back to the corner. That ball's off the wall. Acuna Jr. into third. He'll put on the brakes there, and Olsen doubles. He just missed one. And it's second and third for the Braves.
Matty Olsen, stay hot. Jeez. He's been swinging a good bat for a month now. Just seems like anything over the plate, corner to corner, he's covering it. Yeah, just misses a homer there.
Tapia now in right. The batter Austin Riley has a single, 1 for 1. Ball 2. Ozuna on deck. Back goes flying here right up into the netting. Landing right in front of the Red Sox dugout.
Whew. That's when you're happy they put that netting up down the lines, because otherwise that's landing in somebody's nachos.
Or worse.
Yeah, it could be ice cream.
Exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking. Nachos or noggin.
Almost got Alex Cora on the ricochet.
You know, in the old days, you know, oftentimes, of course, fans would catch the bat or knock it down, whatever, and everyone would be okay. But then came the negotiation.
Yeah.
You know, keeping the bat, not keeping the bat. Do you offer it up? How do you play that?
I would, well, it depends on the bat. Look at the bat. If there's a dent or a mark in it, you're probably not going to use it. They can keep it. But if that's one of your bats and you're hot at the time, you want it back and you'll switch it out for one of your PP bats.
Do
or
anything
like
for
that.
it.
Yeah, you'll switch it out. As long as they get a bat, they're going to be happy. You know, I wasn't real superstitious, but I was a little stitious.
You weren't superstitious. You were stitious.
I was little stitious.
Little stitious. That's in there for strike 3. Freezing Riley. And got him admiring the pitch.
Yeah, it wasn't like a don't step on the line, eat the same food. That wasn't me. But if I was hot with a bat, I'm keeping it. It's that, you know, he throws the cutter, but this is more, it has more break to it. It looks more sliderish to me. That's that extra pitch that will really help him out when guys start sitting on his cutter and that one breaks more.
Second K today. Ozuna had a really fine at bat, drew a walk on 10 pitches in the first inning. Questioning that call. 1 out, runners at second and third. Going 2.
That's like a split or changeup that Cutter hasn't thrown a lot in his career, but clearly working on it today. We've seen it 3 times now. That one was up, but the speed change helped him.
Down he goes, Hacken. Struck him out and made fast work of him this time.
That's it again. That's the same pitch. That's that changeup, split change. I can't really see his grip. I want to say it's just a changeup, but it looks just like the fastball of the hand. Has a parachute on it. Just doesn't really get there and then dives down at the last second. That's going to be a big pitch for him.
Cutter was tired of the long at bat last time. Here's Harris. Swinging away, right away, and pops a foul out of play. Forbes magazine has published its expectations of what major league players are going to earn this year. At the very top of the list, who makes the most money this year?
Is it Scherzer or Verlander? Who is it?
Shohei Ohtani.
This year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was thinking just baseball contract. You mean away from the game, too?
This is both. Yep. Line drive up the middle, a base hit. Cunha Jr. in to score. Olsen rounding, and he will score. Michael Harris, who has 3 RBIs in the game, has tied it up. Right back up the middle.
How much does Shohei make? 50? Over 50 grand or 50 million?
So the projection, as Alex Cora comes out, and they're going to check Cutter Crawford on this line shot back to him. The projection for Shohei Ohtani this year is $65 million. Now that, of course, is his $30 million baseball contract.
Right.
The rest is endorsements.
What happens when he's making 50 a year next year?
Then it's considerably more. Scherzer was second on that list at $59 million. And then Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
At about 44.5.
Yeah. Wow.
Mike Trout's up there too. But Shohei #1.
Worldwide, man.
Yeah.
His name transcends baseball. He's a rock star.
Here's Albies and takes ball 1.
And not that he needed it, but the WBC expanded that brand even more this year.
Albies has grounded out to short. Foul tip to the mitt. 1-1. Chris Sale spoke to this the other day. You know, it's a very positive, upbeat Red Sox clubhouse. I think in some ways a market change from a year ago. It's my own observation.
I have to agree. I mean, sitting down talking to Kike and Justin Turner, and they just going on and on about just how it's a clubhouse full of good guys who just want to win.
Center field backing up Duvall, still on the move, can't get it over the shoulder. Harris trying to score, and he is going to score. Cutter Crawford get knocked around here in the 3rd inning. An RBI double to put Atlanta in front by a run.
This Atlanta lineup, just you don't get a break. 1 through 9, they can hit you, they can hurt you.
So Dave Bush out to the hill. This is the first official visit of the inning. The last one was an injury visit, so it does not count against removing him from the game. But Red Sox do have an active bullpen. And Atlanta surging in front now with 6 hits, and 4 of them have come in this inning. And brings up Darno's 0 for 1 with a fly to center. It feels like about 90% of the time the Braves are swinging on the first pitch.
Yeah, they are not wasting any time.
He's got good power, 18 home runs last year. A little trickler foul. We're talking about the NCAA tournament Final Four a little while ago. We talked about everybody except probably the favorite to win it, which is Connecticut, UConn.
Right, yeah.
They are smoking people.
With Alabama out and Houston out now, like, yeah, they're the clear favorite.
I think the Huskies are. That was nasty. He struck him out to retire the side, but Atlanta gets 3, and they're in front 4-3. As we take a look at the first few weeks of the regular season, there's your calendar. Opening day against the Orioles, 2:10 p.m. on Thursday, off day Friday, then back at it Saturday and Sunday. The Pirates come in, then the Red Sox go on the road for the first time to Detroit and Tampa Bay. Long series there against the Rays indoors, and then the Angels of Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Love that shirt. 2018, not a bad group.
Jeez, that team was just better than everybody.
Alex Cora talks about it all the time when people intimate, well, that team just had to throw their gloves on the field and they won. And he was like, you know, that was an incredibly hard-working group of guys. There was no doubting the talent. Red Sox were a favorite from Jump Street. Deep drive here by Raffi, backing up Ozuna, and he'll make the play. Raffi has sent a couple of shots out there, had a double off the wall in the first inning. That was to right center, this one to left, and 1 man out. Justin Turner to climb in. Atlanta on top 4-3 3rd inning.
Raffi hit that ball and he sprinted out of the box. You know, it's so good to see him running better again. He was on one hamstring for half the season last year.
Turner takes a strike. It's tough for this guy to leave the Dodgers. He was so entrenched there in LA, loved the franchise.
He's from there too. He grew up there.
High deep drive left center. Guys are launching the ball today. Harris to the wall, leaping, can't get it. And Turner is into second base with a double. Look, both sides are taking aim at the fences today.
I think we're going to see a lot of that from Justin Turner this year, using the monster to his advantage. I mean, this is pitch up in the zone, bearing it on his hands, and he is one of the best in baseball at keeping his hands inside the baseball, not rolling this over, not breaking his bat, and getting the sweet spot to it. Michael Harris almost robs him of a double right here.
Lugo to run for him. Red Sox with 4 extra base hits in the game. That includes the Yoshida home run in the first inning.
Yeah, that was a tank. That ball got way out of here.
So spring training is over for Justin Turner. It ends on a nice note, the double. He looks ready to go for opening day. He had the single scariest moment of the entire spring when he got hit in the face. 16 stitches. A little pop up here and out of the range of Riley. But came back strong from that.
Yeah, you can hardly even see the scar now. They did such a good job with that. I mean, he has the mustache that grows over where the scar is, but you can barely even tell anything happened. Talk about getting lucky.
And I think the Red Sox staff did a great job through that whole process. The training staff. And one thing they told him to do was stay out of the sun. They kept him out of the sun because that can really take, you know, a scar and make it appear even more permanent. And so he stayed out of the sun. He did a lot of his work indoors. Most of his, well, he was kind of rehabbing to come back.
Yeah, Brad, Masai, that whole group in there. You know, I was lucky enough to work with them through my career, not only in the minor leagues, but in the major leagues as well. They're great. I mean, they know what they're doing.
He's a tough customer to come back from that. I was amazed. Just amazed he came back that fast. And in a great frame of mind. You know, it wasn't like he was thinking, oh, you know, I don't really want to get in the box again and face a high and tight fastball. You know, you never heard anything like that.
I talked to him after his first game back. And, you know, the first pitch to him was a slider down and away. And he didn't flinch. He just kind of stuck his nose in there. And I said, you know, were you thinking about it? He said a little bit, but I was going to be super aggressive. And, like, once I got that first pitch out of the way, I was fine.
Amazing. 3-2 on Yoshida. And he will take ball 4. Sox have had some really good at bats. And here comes Adam Duvall. And out steps Snitker out of the Atlanta dugout. So that'll be it for Charlie today. Red Sox getting him so far for 3 runs, 4 hits. These 2 base runners do belong to him. So we've got a pitching change. We will take the break as well here from Fort Myers. Red Sox trying to rally down a run in the 3rd inning. Friday, June 23rd. Don't miss headliner Kane Brown with fan favorite Darius Rucker and special guests Gabby Barrett and Restless Road. Check out the entire 2023 Fenway concert lineup at redsox.com/concerts and get your tickets today. Thinking ahead to June. Here's Duvall against Alex Siegel, new pitcher for Atlanta, left-handed with runners at first and second and 1 away. Ref Snyder now running for Yoshida at first. So Alex Cora starting to go to the bench. Usually the guys will take a couple of at bats here on the final day.
About a little Duvall dinger here. Start that trend.
You've already named it.
You're welcome.
Two and 1.
Gets a lefty to face 2-0. 2-1 now. Good matchup.
Casas on deck. He has a homer today. So does Yoshida. Roll to short. Arcia. Always with the turn. And a double play. It's all for the Sox. Atlanta on top by a run. Cutter Crawford's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. Ace Ticket with the best seats at the lowest prices. 52 pitches. He has fanned 4 and allowed half a dozen hits.
Yeah, he's been in the middle of the plate a little bit with his heater. And this lineup doesn't miss heaters down the middle. That's for sure. They've been super aggressive, which I think has played into their advantage. But Cutter's just, he just got to work to the edges a little more. I have liked the fact that we've seen a changeup and slider from him. 3rd and a 4th pitch, which he's going to need.
Red Sox with a completely different outfield than the one they started with. As Rosario fouls it away. Duran is now left. Tapia has moved from right over to center. And Ref Snyder's now the right fielder. If you're scoring at home. Both teams have been swinging away. Love to see that on the final day of spring training.
That's never good for starting pitching because they're thinking the same approach. Let me just fire one in there and get ahead. And then the hitter's thinking, I'm going to get the head out here. And it's a lot of loud contact like we've seen today from both squads.
Really? And not wind aided.
No. It's the first day in a long time the wind hasn't been howling out.
Little pop up. And Arroyo to put that away. Yu Chang is now at 3rd. He is on the ball club. 1 man out.
Just his 2nd game of spring training. After a great WBC. My goodness.
Yeah, he won the MVP in his group.
Pool A.
I think the WBC is going to get bigger and bigger. I do.
I don't know why it wouldn't. It's so good.
And I know it has its critics. What doesn't, right? But and the critical side of it, from what I've read, is this: they're glorified exhibitions. Guys get hurt. Guys get hurt who affect drastically. Take the New York Mets, for example, losing their closer in a profound way, and it's not worth it. That's the critical side.
Of course.
That's one way of looking at it. The other side of it, of course, is what you're talking about. It's great baseball. There's great patriotism involved. It's a wonderful tournament. This is a high, deep drive. This one launched by Arcia. Way back there, and that ball is gone. It is carrying today. Not the last outing that Cutter Crawford had in mind.
Yeah, he got every bit of that one. That ball was torched.
Makes it 5-3. Braves have hit some bullets today. It's their first home run.
Yeah, just another heater that's just getting too much at the plate. Heater in, heater out.
Red Sox do have the bullpen up. 5 runs on 7 hits against Cutter Crawford today. Acuna Jr. has done some damage with a couple of hits. 2 for 2. He has scored 2 times.
Back to your point on the WBC, Dave. It's just, you know, baseball was in a spot where they needed to continue to grow. They were losing viewers, so they changed the rules, which I think will help with that. Look out.
Acuna Jr. finds a safe place to land.
And the rule change will help in that aspect, especially with the younger generation, keeping them locked into a game and up in the pace of play. But growing the game through the WBC, I think, was massive. Massive. The guys were able to be themselves, represent their countries, celebrate without it being frowned upon with unwritten rules. No one cared. It was like backyard baseball at its highest level. It was pure and it was fun to watch.
Packed ballparks.
It was just passionate.
Yeah, great passion, great energy, and a lot of great ball players. And playing for their country, which is a different kind of competition.
And there's a big difference between playing these games and those. And I think those will get you ready for the regular season more than these, just because of the stressful situations,
right?
The big crowds, the noise, being up in big moments. You know, these games, there's no adrenaline in these games, so you can't really tap into that until opening day.
May talk about instant adrenaline.
I had adrenaline on my couch.
Yeah,
watching it.
Well, we all did. A lot of great players toe to toe. In those circumstances, I think it's only going to get bigger. Here's Olson, who's had a spectacular spring and has added to it with a double in the third inning. 1 for 2 today. Acuna Jr. just took ball 4, so he's been on base 3 times. He can run too. Holding here, and a swing and a miss by Olson.
Yeah, you know, you're going to see pitchers come set early, and hitters have to be ready by 8 seconds. So you're going to see guys take advantage of the long holds, but you don't want to wait until 1 second, because then the runner can time you.
Kevin Kilpatrick will run. For Acuna Jr.
Another good changeup by Crawford right there, just missing 0-2. That's a perfect pitch. That's where you wanted 0-2, on that chalk line off the plate, trying to get a chase.
Throw over, of course, you get 2 under the new rules.
He was running right there, OB. His first move was towards second before he went back to slide in. He was going.
Which doesn't mean you can't throw over again.
Just got to get him out.
You better get him out, or it's a balk. And the runner is automatically sent to second. And we've seen that happen a couple times in spring training at other sites where guys have thrown over a third time to pick the guy.
Yeah, you can't get too greedy over there, especially a guy with a good pickoff move. You can't just assume he's not going to come over.
Kilpatrick not running. Swung on and missed, and down goes Olson, who has not made many outs this spring. So 2 away.
You know, just a heater up and in right here. It tends to be a hole for lefties at up and in. Down and in, they can get to it. But with Olson, the way he holds his hands away from his body, that's a tough pitch for him to get to.
Riley next. He is 1 for 2 with a single. Going to line that one, and caught by Arroyo. Side retired, but a home run by Arcia, and it is now 5-3 Atlanta. Xfinity.
Yeah, Tristan, such a force offensively, but wow, flashing the leather today. That's something you love to see from the big infielder. And then we get to see the power at the plate. I mean, this ball is absolutely crushed. Flip that bat, young man. You earned it. You hit that ball 430 feet. Great sign for him going into opening day.
The next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. And that can be said of this young man too. At top of spring training, if I said, hey, Will, he's going to hit like 4 home runs,
I would say that's it.
Schuster, by the way, made their ball club, and drive in like 10, 11, hit somewhere around 330. If that's the spring that Casas is going to have, you'd go, hey, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to hang your hat on too many spring training stats, but the at-bats have been just as good as they were last year, except now he's actually getting rewarded for hits. Last year he was hitting the ball right at people and had a 197 batting average with nearly a 400 on base. So the results are coming, and they will continue to come just because of the quality of plate appearances he's at.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth, they'll be followed by Arroyo and McGuire. Two from Schuster. There's a high fly ball into right center. That's well struck. Harris back to the triangle to make the catch. Had a long way to go. Kilpatrick out there in center. Casas put a good swing on that one. One man away.
That's how strong he is. He misses this ball, misses the sweet spot, still almost leaves, still hits it almost 400 feet. Right now, Schuster's in line to be their third or fourth starter. Right now, it looks like just the way they're lined up, Morton's going to be at the end of that rotation. I'm not sure how they're going to put them in order once the season starts, but Schuster's going to be in it. They just recalled Ian Anderson, who had been sent down a week ago because Kyle Wright went on the 15-day IL.
Arroyo will take the walk. So Red Sox with a base runner. Down by a couple. The eating's good here on the last day of spring training. Popcorn. We've got the hot dogs, the ice cream. Koss now the runner.
Dell's frozen lemonade down there.
Oh. Talking my language. All of the Atlanta regulars are now out of the ball game. So a change at every position. Blocked here by Murphy, the catcher, but not in time to get Koss. He will advance on a wild pitch.
We almost get he gets a good read on this, but we almost get a full-blown scorpion slide. Remember Kevin Millar doing that, sliding his back feet going over his head? He's stuck in that dirt. Is that a wet spot right there or what? That does not feel good. Get dirt all in your mouth. They're gonna make fun of him in the dugout for that for sure. Oh, the hand got stuck. See, the oven mitt's not always a good thing.
Lunging fly. Kilpatrick to make the grab. And two down. I can vouch for the dirt in the mouth. That's not a good feeling.
You've done that?
I don't even have to dive into second base to know that.
Just gnaw on dirt here and there, or you have an experience? You got a story?
Taking a couple of headers in my time. Okay.
I will bring it up
just
again.
Leave it.
I won't bring it up again, Obi. Sorry.
Digging up a little balance problem. Well, here's Kike. What may be his last at bat of the day. 0 for 1, a pop to short. Runner at second. Raimel Tapia on deck, who had himself an eye-opening spring. And the count 3-0.
Another 2-0 off-speed pitch. Another changeup right there. Base open will do that, especially from a guy who's a starting pitcher. .302, 3-0 slider right there, or yanked a changeup. It's hard to tell, but it's just odd. I've seen so many off-speed pitches in hitters' counts.
To throw back to Tom Glavine. That's a strike.
Another one, 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, and now he's going to throw his fastball, and it's going to feel like it's 107 after 3 changeups in a row.
Tom Glavine did that right to Cooperstown.
Yeah, that's true.
Tried to hold up. He went around. That's strike 3. And that retires the side. 1 man left. 8th Street Pavilion Club memberships include a climate-controlled club space, in-seat service, and more. Plans starting at 20 games. For more info, visit redsox.com/premium. Perfect day for the Ices here. Middle 80s with sun out. 5-3 Atlanta. Will Middlebrooks, Dave O'Brien, and Jemiah Webster alongside. Richard Blyer made a lot of appearances last year with the Marlins. He'll give up a ground ball here to short. And a quick out on 1 pitch. With Pearson grounding out.
One thing Blyer is going to do is he's going to fill up the zone. He's going to throw strikes. He's going to add, subtract with speeds, fastball, changeup, breaking ball. But he's going to pound the zone, which is great. You always want that coming out of the pen.
Chang will handle that one, and that's 2 fast outs.
Yeah, while he's in the zone, he does miss a lot of barrels. 90th percentile in barrel percentage. That just means guys don't hit the ball hard off of him.
Base is empty, 2 down. Adrianza the batter. The Red Sox can rally today. They will come home with a winning record. If they lose, they'll be right at 500. And if you're going to be with us at Fenway Park on opening day, 2:10 on Thursday, bundle up. I know you don't need to be told that, but it's going to be 42 degrees. It will be sunny. That's the forecast right now. Very nice, bright, sunny day. It's going to be windy.
Regardless of everything you just said, baseball's back, baby.
Baseball is back.
It's back.
And again, right now, given what the forecast is, we're going to play. Red Sox and the Orioles for the real thing. 2023 season. Look at that forecast. Right now, 41 degrees. It's going down. Mostly sunny and cool. Nice way of putting that. Chance of precipitation is 0.
That is just cool to New Englanders, you know. That some guys might be in shorts.
They missed with that, and that's going to be ball 4. Blyer thought he had one there, but Eric Bacchus said no. And Atlanta with a base runner with 2 down.
Yeah, this one just missing. Good heater, bottom of the zone. Catches the inner corner, but I think he had it down. It looked like just under his knees. Obviously, Blyer wants that.
Looked like a pretty good pitch to me.
Yeah. Definitely warranted a swing. Just didn't get it. said Bacchus was the god of wine?
Bacchus is the god of wine, yeah.
Interesting.
That one tagged to left. That is a shot. That one catches one of the pillars. That's a long single if you've ever seen one.
The wall giveth and the wall taketh would be.
Murphy with a bullet. There've been a few of those today, first and third.
Duran played it perfectly off the wall. A little different here with the netting 3/4 of the way up, but Duran made a very nice defensive play to get this in. If he bobbles it at all, the run scores, but he also gets it in, throws it on a dime to hold him to a single.
Rosario to get another at bat. He is 0 for 2, a strikeout, and he's popped up. Down the line, a diving attempt there by Duran. Run comes in to score. That'll put runners at second and third. And got him to retire the side. Atlanta with another run on the board. They lead at 6. Atlanta has the lead 6-3. Dave O'Brien alongside Will Middlebrooks and Jemai Webster as well, as Tapia leads things off here against Schuster. That's a slicer down in the corner, a fair ball. And Tapia, who has been swinging it all spring, has a double.
I was just about to say, Obi, right after that pitch, I was going to say this is an interesting at bat for me to watch. I want to see if Tapia can fare well against a good lefty. Schuster's young, but he's got good stuff. We've seen him now 3 times this spring against the Sox. And I mean, he stays on this heater right there, shoots it the other way. That's a great approach. And it's going to keep him on sliders from lefties.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. Yu Chang, who is on the team, moved around a little bit 2022, didn't he? Hitting in what was Rafael Devers' spot. Rafi with a double. Before he departed, he went 1 for 2. That's going to be a balk. A balk to send Tapia down to third. So the Red Sox with a man 90 feet away. Plate umpire Bacchus saying that he balked.
Yeah, before he came set right there, before he stepped off, he flinched.
Little looper in a perfect spot, and here comes the run. Red Sox trail 6-4. Chang with a base hit.
And without that block, Tapia is standing on third. Maybe not even. He might have to check up to see if he's going to catch it and have to stay at second because it's so close to third base. So that balk played huge.
Lugo with a swing and a foul away. Chang dropping in the RBI hit. Masa Yoshida and Yu Chang both selected to the World Baseball Classic All Tournament team for their countries. Yoshida played in 7 games for Japan in the Classic. He hit .409 with 13 runs batted in. That's a record for that tournament. And Chang for Chinese Taipei hit .438 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Stopped there and close, but got him. And now number 1.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet play right here. This ball's crushed to third. Picks up the short hop, keeps it in front of him. Fumbles it just enough to not be able to turn the double play, but just gets him at second for the force play.
So that will bring up Rob Refsnyder. Batting in what was Yoshida's spot. Yoshida with a 2-run homer and a walk before departing here this afternoon. 6-4 Atlanta. Duran on deck. Lugo, the base runner, and that's a ball.
2-0 changeup again. It's a new trend, I guess.
And he walks him on 4 straight. So the Red Sox have a couple of men on. And Duran about to climb in. Seeing that Sergio Romo retired with the Giants. Way he wanted to, pitching one final time for the team he helped to win 3 World Series. He called it a career on Monday.
Yeah, it was, and Hunter Pence came out to take him out of the game too, which I thought was pretty special. What I did hate about it was that at bat started. His last guy he faced started with a pitch clock violation.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, have a little bit of feel back there. Come on.
Giants reached out a few weeks ago to see if he might consider tossing 1 inning. He said he had already taken up golf.
Shocking.
They said, I understand how special this opportunity was, and they got him into a spring training game. Yeah, immediately actually called for 2 clock violations by the plate umpire, resulting in a pair of automatic balls.
I mean, come on.
Wow. Also threw a wild pitch. He gave up a couple of singles, so he's retired at the right time. A little trickler here, and Duran will be out. Runners move up to second and third, and 2 down. But man, when he was on as a regular guy out of the bullpen for the Giants during their glory years, he was special.
I mean, you could go up there and he could tell you the slider was coming, and you still couldn't hit it. It was just unbelievable, the amount of movement. He didn't throw hard, but he threw so many sliders that it made his fastball actually feel like it was getting on you.
Played 15 years for 8 organizations, 9 years with San Francisco. He said goodbye in a note to the San Francisco fans through the Players Tribune, saying, "Dear San Francisco, tonight I plan to do something one last time. I get to put on a Giants jersey, and before I go, I want to write this letter and share some thoughts with you. Thanks for reading." And went on and talked about how great the fans have been. Special town, special organization, really classy.
Special player. What, you get 3 rings?
Yeah, 3.
Wow.
1 and 2. You and I were talking about, cities that treat their ball players, treat the organization with so much class around baseball, and I think a lot of people think of San Francisco as one of those, along with St. Louis. But on the West Coast, obviously you get the Dodgers, and certainly have the San Francisco Giants. They just love their Giants in San Francisco.
And they've had so much success over the last 15 years. 10-15 years that obviously that's going to bring in more fans, but yeah, they really support that club.
Cavada sitting here, second and third, 2 down. And a full count. A base hit could tie it. Got a piece of it. He hangs in there. And walked him. And they're all loaded up. So been a long inning for Schuster. Began with the Tapia double. Christian Koss to hit with the bases loaded and 2 down.
You know, during the WBC, we got to see a lot of Christian Koss, and I enjoyed watching him play defense. He was fun to watch out there.
So the only regular for the Red Sox who began the day today in the lineup who remains is Reese McGuire. And Reese is on deck. And fouled away 0-2. I think it's a Red Sox team with a very positive feel about itself, getting ready to break camp, and hopes are high. A little trickler here. Had Rianza up and over, and the Red Sox are held to 1 run.
At Blue Park, Red Sox trail the Braves 6-4 here in the top of the 6th inning. Always happy to be joined by Richard Blyer, who's with us after a pretty efficient start to your outing. You got the first 2 batters quickly, then you got some help from your defense to finish. How do you feel about your afternoon?
You know, I wanted to get my work in, so I figured I had 2 outs on 3 pitches. I was like, I probably should give up hits and maybe walk a guy, throw a few more pitches, you know, really get sharp and ready for the season. So, no, there's some things we just talked about where I kind of did things like that walk. I put myself in that situation 3-2 that I shouldn't have. Kind of chasing a strikeout rather than just pitching a weak contact where I usually do. So it's okay. I'm happy with where my stuff is, and you know, we're looking forward to getting up north now.
And you were traded here on January the 30th, about 2 months ago, but it already feels like you've been a pretty prominent member of this clubhouse. How would you describe the way you've been able to assimilate yourself to this group?
Oh, it's a good group. I think this is my 16th year, so I've pretty much played against or with everybody on this team for the most part. So it's easy to connect with everyone, and like I said, it's been a very welcoming group. So far, I feel like you know, we're doing pretty well, and I think we're just at this point ready to get out of here and get started.
Yeah, get started indeed. You made now 7 appearances here in the Grapefruit League play as you close things out. You had your WBC experience. We're really, you know, that was some high leverage situations that you were facing there. How would you characterize the way you've been able to prepare yourself for the regular season?
I really like where, I mean, I would have liked a lot more if I would have had a clean inning there, but I like where the stuff's at. My sinker, which is my strongest pitch, is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's in the locations it's supposed to be in. The rest of the stuff, I think it's just like, once you kind of get into spring training and you feel like you're confident where you're at, then you could get in trouble when you start doing things like outside of the norm, trying things kind of like today. I threw a 2-strike slider to a lefty or to a righty, something that I don't really do, and it was a bad idea, and that's what put me in that situation to walk the guy, and something I won't do in season. But you know, I'm like, okay, you know, I know my fastball's fine, my cutter's fine, let me just try something.
Right. I guess if you're working on something, yeah, now's the time to do it.
Working on something trick, you know. Everyone's favorite spring training line.
Absolutely. What are you looking forward to most now that the regular season is knocking on the door?
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to playing at Boston. I mean, the fans, and just, you know, when they really count, and you know, game 1 of hopefully our trip to the World Series. I think that's everybody's plan, is to win and win the last game of the season when it counts, and you know, and that's what we're really gearing up for.
Earlier, this is the second time you're joining us, by the way, so we certainly appreciate it.
A lot of airtime.
Yeah, exactly. Down here on the
Lead
field.
the league in airtime for middle relievers, that's for sure.
You also joined us in the booth.
Yeah.
So I'm going
I
to
started that trend, okay? I was the first of many. So anybody who was better than me after, you're welcome for it.
trendsetter Richard Blyer. But I'm going to give you an opportunity now because you had broadcast boot camp, so I'm going to switch it on you. And you got any questions for me?
Oh, no. Well, are you looking forward to the cold weather or this heat? You know, it's severe differences.
Great question.
What do you
give you an A+ on that.
perform better in? What climate do you perform better in?
I definitely am, subtropical, so I'm feeling this, but I'm excited about the 40-degree switch that we're going to have here on Thursday. Richard, appreciate the time. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, it'll be Richard Blyer, maybe coming up to the booth at some point, but we'll let him get through this season first.
I don't think we'll bother Richard anymore. I think we've done that enough, but he's fun to listen to. And when you listen to a guy like that talk, I'm not chasing the strikeout in that spot. I'm going for weak contact.
How good of an interview is he?
He's really good.
I mean,
Really good.
and lost in the brilliance of his interview, John Schreiber's throwing the ball really well right now.
Yep.
Really well. Which is something we needed to see.
He needs to.
Yes.
It's
been a tough spring. I mean, the stuff has been there, the velocity's been there, all that's been the same. He just hasn't controlled the zone. He hadn't thrown strikes, and today he's pounding the zone. He's got a little more of that game day, real season intensity, which he runs on. Hopefully this is that switch we talked about earlier, that he just flips it and he's ready to go, and he's that guy we saw for 60-plus appearances last year.
Well, strike away from a 1-2-3 inning and 3 punch-outs. So in this inning, to this point, he's looked like the guy we saw last summer.
Dialed in. All 3 pitches. You saw a changeup there. He was hoping to get chase, dove down and away. Probably wanted to start it a little more competitive over the plate and break it off, but it's still a good pitch.
Man, he was filthy in that inning. 3 strikeouts, great sign there. And they go 1-2-3.
Back here at JetBlue Park, 6-4 Red Sox trail the Braves, and we're happy to be joined now by Reese McGuire, who's with us, closing out Grapefruit League play. Reese, you're getting ready to head into your 6th big league year. How would you characterize, where you are right now?
I mean, I'm very thankful for the opportunity here, and really excited about the offseason of work I put in, and really looking forward to get up to Boston and get this thing going.
Working with Cutter Crawford this afternoon. He's also made the team and has made quite the leap this year as he has really worked on some things to get himself in a much better spot. What do you think about the way you guys have been able to work together?
Yeah, from him, I mean, the short time that I've seen him from last year, obviously showing up now into spring, I mean, the kid is like a young adult. He's very mature on the mound. He's a very intelligent baseball player, high IQ. He's very smart. We're over here talking, different sequences and things we could have done, or, ways to go attack hitters the next inning. And, from a guy that has electric stuff that he has, and then you add in, the baseball smarts that he has, I think he's going to be pretty special, and it's fun working with him and taking the ball with him.
You've been here with these pitchers for 6+ weeks now, and you've had an opportunity to really get adjusted to some of the rule changes. How do you think you've been able to work around the pitch timer behind the plate?
Yeah, I think, honestly, offensively, like, yesterday or 2 days ago was like the first day where I finally was like, all right, I kind of got the clock out of my head in a way. You kind of finally, your body's just getting into the box a little bit quicker, from earlier in camp. And then on the defensive side, though, that's the one we're really close at. There's still a few times where the nice line drive there.
Love your play-by-play.
Yeah. Dang. But yeah, like on defense, there's a few times we're getting the pitch comm a little bit too late. Like we almost need to give it sooner. That way, if they do shake off, they have a few extra moments to get the right pitch. Versus all of a sudden we're kind of down to 5 or 6 seconds and we got to hurry up and rush. But that's something we'll clean up for sure. And but all in all, I mean, I think everyone collectively here has definitely adapted.
Part of some of those rule changes are the bigger bases that we see out here.
A little double down the line. Got to go hard. Got to go hard. Okay, stand up, stand up. Oh, get down. Okay.
All right,
let's go, let's go.
All right, we appreciate that. But part of the rule changes has been the bigger bases. I'm curious, like, Is back picking something that's going to be part of your defensive strategy as you try to handle the game back there?
Yeah, you know, without giving away all our secrets, you know, yeah, we're gonna be back picking a little bit more. I think that's the way we can kind of just control the leads over there. Hopefully, guys aren't getting too big. You know, if we do decide to pick over early in an at bat, we always got one still left in the pocket. So now it's kind of maybe our turn back there to try to shorten up a lead or something like that. But yeah, I mean, court awareness, just knowing who's on the bag and you know who's getting a little aggressive out there.
Are you ready for this 40-degree swing that you're going to be experiencing on Thursday?
I'm actually ready. Yeah, after catching out here today, I'm like, oh gosh, you know what? I'm okay with a little bit of cold weather. It's getting pretty steamy out here, and I'm from Seattle, so that weather is probably going to be kind of like feeling like home in a way.
All right, Reese, appreciate the time. We'll see you on Thursday. Thanks so much, and appreciate you for doing some of the heavy lifting here, giving Dave a breather.
Sounds good. I appreciate you.
All right, OB, send it back upstairs to you.
Everybody's a play-by-play guy. You get right down to it. Everyone wants to be a broadcaster. At some point, not yet, you know, for Reese.
Anybody can do it for an inning. Doing 160 games like you do, that's a grind.
2 or 3 pitches. Come on now. Seems like a natural.
Yeah, there's just kind of a calmness about him. I think the pitchers will really like that.
Boy, it was one of the biggest surprise for me last year, because I knew he could hit, but
330, you know, over what, 36 games with the Sox,
and he was hitting lasers
all over the place. Yeah,
it's like, wow. I think it's a big reason the Red Sox were very quiet about catching. Big cut and a miss here. That is strike 3 to retire the side. Red Sox will strand a man at third. For our high-strength steel plates presented by your New England Chevy dealers.
Yeah, this was the inning from John Schreiber we've been waiting for the past couple weeks. Pounding the zone, great velocity, great movement. There's bite on the slider. He's getting ahead of hitters and putting himself in the position to use those put-away pitches. This was the outing he needed going into Boston, going into opening day. He should feel really good about that.
I think he feels sky high after that. Talk with Dave Bush. I mean, you execute like that, your stuff's moving like that. That's exactly the guy the Red Sox require him to be when the season gets underway, and he was last season.
That's your high leverage arm. You need him to be locked in.
Or to come on, make an appearance. Another guy who could use one like that.
Absolutely. The stuff's been there all spring, but it's just been all over the place. And this is the thing with big league hitters. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. You can throw 105. If it's 2-0, if it's 3-1, every at bat, they're going to hit your fastball.
Alvarez with a liner. That'll bounce all the way to the wall, and he's got himself a double on a game that has seen plenty of those. So the Braves quickly with a man in scoring position. 10 hits.
Yeah, this is just another missed spot. Wong set up down away, and he comes back over middle in, gets way too much of the plate. The velocity's there, it's great, but you have to hit your spots at this level.
Jacob Pearson, a batter. I think we can talk about a lot of aspects with the Boston Red Sox and say, well, if this works out, if this guy stays healthy. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to pitching. It's going to come down to the rotation. It's going to come down to the bullpen. If the Red Sox are going to be a team that we're talking about in September going to postseason play or with a chance to go to postseason play.
Yeah, they lead the league in ifs. I thought you said that best when you were calling a game early in spring training. There's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of high ceiling players that are there, but the floor is extra low too. You know, if guys get hurt, then all of a sudden this rotation looks a lot different. The bullpen looks different. What are you going to get from that lineup? I think the lineup's going to maybe be the best part of this team. And you're going to have a few guys overperform if they want to get where they want to go.
2-1. For me, there's no single more important player on the 2023 Red Sox than Chris Sale.
I agree.
And so getting through spring training healthy and looking good as he has, feeling really good, was a big win before the season ever started. That's going to be ball 4, so it'll be first and second. Because so much depends on Chris Sale every 5 days and everyone falling in line after him.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the leader of your pitching staff. He's your veteran. He's been there. He's done it. You know, and I think he has a little chip on his shoulder right now. I know he's been grinding through the injuries and some freak things that have gone down the last couple years.
Which he's some of which he's making fun of.
Of course.
Which I think is the right way to do it.
100%. But if he just wants to get out there and compete. He's a competitor. He wants to help the team win. He doesn't want to feel like he's letting them down anymore. And I'm so excited to go out there and watch him every 5 days.
Oh, me too. And you know, be going the second day of the season, which is that Saturday against Baltimore. Is your pal Kevin Pillar.
There he is.
Who photobombed our open today.
Rudely interrupted our open today.
Rudely interrupted our open. No, actually, I was very impressed the fact that you just sort of bounced off and said, hey, there's Kevin Pillar, by the way. So let me get back to my point.
Well, I had to hurry before I forgot it. So thanks, Kev. Yeah, I'll text you. I'll talk to you later. Leave me alone. I'm busy. I'm working. Don't come talk to you during BP.
You owe him one now.
He already robbed me of a homer in AAA years ago.
No, he's done that before.
So
yeah. Done that to a few guys.
I'll put it on tap. Yeah, he's robbed a lot of guys.
Yeah, you know, we've talked quite a bit about the middle part of the bullpen and, you know, how important that's going to be. And some of those guys have scuffled this spring. Great to see Schreiber pitch the way he did. I mean, that's a huge lift today for him to go out on that. But I think Chris Sale, and then how about the rest of your rotation? Can they feed off Chris Sale? Strike three on number one here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and that rotation is going to look completely different in 2 weeks.
That's right.
You know, Whitlock's going to miss a start. Bayo hopefully only misses 2 starts.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, Houck and Crawford are probably in the bullpen where I think Houck is most effective, honestly. I think he can be a good starter, but I think he's better in the bullpen.
So after Chris Sale, for me, the other really intriguing pitcher in the rotation, and he won't be at the top of it, but he will be soon enough, is Bayo.
Oh, my gosh.
Because, you know, you watch him a couple times this spring, and obviously you saw him last year, too, and you're like, I mean, he is dirty. When he's on, he is dirty.
Yeah, I think when he changed, you know, the way he was pitching, when he first came up last year, it's, you know, the trend of fastballs at the top of the zone, get below, you know, get above bats. That's not who he is. He's a ground ball guy. He wants to start that 2-seamer off the plate, run it back, throw it in on your hands. And once he did that later in the season,
yeah,
he was filthy.
And can throw 97.
Oh, yeah, with movement. I mean, it is the horizontal break on his fastball is unreal.
Adrianza with a cut and a miss. So I think there's reason to be very hopeful about some really important guys in the rotation. And out of the bullpen, you get Kenley Jansen now as a true pro, anchoring the thing as the closer. Martin is a setup guy who's done that very successfully. Duran racing back and turning. That'll catch the wall. Alvarez took a stumble there, but he'll make it home. That'll put runners at second and third. Another run in for Atlanta. They lead at 7-4. Adrianza with a double.
A little bit of a misplay here by Jaron out and left, playing this off the wall. First thinks like maybe I can get this, and then pulls up, just because if you do jump against the wall and you don't feel like you can get it, then 2 runs are going to score. So he backs off and then just does not get a good bounce, doesn't play it at the right angle, ends up giving up a run.
Well, the wall's been taking a pounding today. Atlanta now 11 hits. And Ort has had a rough spring. He's allowed a couple of doubles and walked him in this inning. Red Sox are gearing up for the 2023 season. Tickets are on sale right now for all games. Visit redsox.com/tickets. Game number 1 of 162 on Thursday afternoon at Fenway Park. We'll have it for you on NESN, of course. Kevin Youkilis will join me in the booth. TC and the gang will launch everything as we get things started from Fenway. Martinez, the hitter, now doing the catching. Infield in.
Yeah, I want to see Ort finish this strong. I know this is a game situation where like a ground out, then a pop-up works fine. But for him, if he can finish this strong, get nasty, get a couple strikeouts, and get a good taste in his mouth after this outing, after it didn't start how he wanted it to. Because you got to feel like there's a lot hanging on this outing for him.
And that's going to be in there. He rings him up. Martinez caught looking. 2 down.
Yeah, gassed him up right here. I mean, we know he has triple digits in there in the tank. Just, I mean, freezes him up and away. Go sit down.
It's amazing too. I mean, spring training can have such a languid pace to it. Everyone's kind of relaxing in the sunshine. The results really don't mean much in terms of wins and losses at all, if anything. And yet, even here on the very last day of spring training, you've got a relief pitcher who's on the club but has not thrown the ball well and needs that feeling of, yes, okay, I can do this. I can get guys out. I can strike out a couple of guys and walk off the mound and head for Boston feeling a lot better.
Oh, for sure. If it's the other way, if Schreiber hadn't had that inning and all he had to hang his hat on from this spring was 3 or 4 bad outings, you're not feeling confident going into it. Now he can go into it and think, all right, I got my good stuff. Let's go.
Fouled away by Quintero. So even in the last moments of spring training, there's still something meaningful on the line for guys individually.
Yeah, it depends on the guy and his situation. And you look at, Justin Turner and Devers, and they're just going to get their reps and then they're going to go pack and go shower and get ready to go. But guys like Ort, who's in this situation where he had a really bad spring, he needs to have a good outing. He needs to show what he can do, because in this last day of spring.
Up and away, 1-2. Atlanta leading it 7-4. Braves are going to have a terrific club, coming off 101 victories last year. And lofted to center field. Toppy is there, and he ended on an uptick there. 7-4 Atlanta.
We welcome you back to Fort Myers, Florida, as we wrap up spring training here on the 2023 season. And guys, you talked about it, a lot of anticipation and eagerness. Being healthy, he had his final start on Sunday, and afterwards, he and I caught up to talk about what he's done to this point. Here's some snippets of that conversation.
Sometimes you're going to go out there and be completely locked in, and you can basically close your eyes and throw strikes. And there's not high stakes. So, when they come during the season, I'll be prepared for it.
It seems like earlier this spring, too, we were talking about just overall being able to come into this, be healthy, your first normal spring training in quite a few seasons. How nice does it feel to escape this one healthy again?
Yeah, I just got to be, just drive home safe. But it's good, man. I appreciate being here and everybody that got me here. There's a lot of work that went into this, not only from myself, but my teammates. Everybody behind the scenes, the coaching staff, training staff, strength coaches, everybody. So I'm just appreciative of the opportunity I have and being able to have this spring training and get through it. And actually not just get through it, but actually excel through it and finish strong and, be really prepared for the start of the season.
Talk about finishing strong. You got the big 3-4, big 34th birthday coming up on Thursday. On opening day, you'll be able to watch and enjoy that. But, how confident do you feel about going into Saturday, knowing that you'll have game 2?
Very. All this preparation is what gives you confidence to go out there and do that. And I feel like, this spring training, from the start to where I am now, I did all the things I really needed to do. All the focus was in all the right spots. There wasn't a lot of wasted energy on a lot of the stuff that I had to really work on a couple years ago. It was basically just getting back to the basics and pitching and getting stronger and, just kind of the building blocks that everyone has to work on. So I'm just happy about that. I'm appreciative of it, and I'm really ready to go.
We're ready to see you, Chris. Always fun to watch you pitch, man. Looking forward to you getting out there after a healthy year. So thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate you stopping by.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, Chris Sale, OB, and just so you guys know, always gracious, Chris Sale. So nothing injury related, nothing nagging, nothing that he's worried about coming into the season. He got through spring training fully and completely healthy. Looking forward to celebrating his birthday, watching him on opening day, and then we're also, if the weather holds up, looking forward to watching him pitch to be the Chris Sale we all came to know and admire. Oh, that got me in the hip. I'm okay, though.
Did that one get you?
That one nicked me a little bit, but it's all good.
Wow.
I'm getting regular season ready, too, myself, guys.
Man, toughening up right in
exactly.
the hip.
But, yeah, Chris, looking forward to seeing him on Saturday, guys.
Well, I think that's huge, and you just can't overestimate how important that is. But also, Jahmai staying healthy. I mean, it's one thing for players, but Jahmai could not. Look at that ricochet. Got him. Off the bat of Rob Refsnyder.
Head on a swivel, Jahmai.
Yeah, I'm getting regular season ready myself.
I love Chris Sale having a little fun. A couple of things. They had a big smile when Jahmai said, "You're going to be 34 years old." And the other thing was, drive home safely. Get home safely was number one. But I think he's looked terrific this spring.
Oh, there's a lot to be excited for. I don't want us to forget who he is and who he's been. I mean, he's made 25 starts 8 times in his career. He's made 30 starts, four times in his career. He's a 7-time All-Star.
There are people up north who have forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough 2 years, and it had been tough on anybody more than it has been Chris Sale. And the competitor he is, the guy he is who wants to get out there and be there for his team, go out on the mound and help you win a game.
Well, the other thing,
got to drive him nuts.
He's given voice to this, the contract.
Right.
And with all the injuries, he's barely pitched for all that time, and he's upset about that.
Of course. He feels a responsibility to be an ace, to be that guy, because the stuff's still there. It's just these freak things, man. So it's just good to see him healthy and ready to go. He's a big part of this organization, if not the biggest.
I think it's the single most important storyline on opening day. Come Thursday, a line shot in the left center field. Duran taken off. Refsnyder heading into third, and that'll be a single. First and third. Red Sox trying to rally here late in the final spring training game.
Yeah, Duran's done a great job this spring of using the whole field and driving the ball to left field. We've seen it a lot in his at-bats. He hadn't had that many at-bats because he was gone with Team Mexico. But that's the swing right there that's going to have him locked in and keep his bat in the zone longer.
Cavadas will bat with 1 out, 2 on. Sox now with 9 hits. Vanek, a guy who will throw hard. 96, 97. He brings it. Cavadas' numbers in the minor leagues show good power. 26 home runs last year.
Fighting Irish. Played at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame guy. You and I were talking about the schedule to come. Red Sox playing Milwaukee. Craig Counsell.
Yeah,
manager. He's a Notre Dame guy.
That's right. Maybe one of the more notable batting stances of all time.
Sure. Scored the winning run in the World Series in 1997. I was there that night. 70,000 people in the stands in Miami. 70,000.
That was the jam shot, Luis Gonzalez, right? Up the middle.
That was Edgar Renteria, actually.
Edgar Renteria. Yep. I was thinking, but he scored on Luis Gonzalez's as well in Arizona.
Yeah.
He also scored the game-winning run on that one.
He's done some things.
Yeah.
A couple of rings.
Had me thinking about another game-winning World Series.
Very
run.
close. Very close how those worked out.
Yeah.
2 down, 2 on. Fouled back out of play. Seven for Atlanta. Among the highlights today, the Red Sox with a home run from Masa Yoshida a 2-run blow in the first inning, and that was socked. Tristan Casas hit one as well in the second inning. I would say on the pitching side, the effort of John Schreiber today was huge. In 1 inning, struck out 3, blew every hitter away, and looked like the Schreiber of last year. That one wrapped to short. Conley crossed the body. He made a nice play, and that will retire the side. Training on Nesson is brought to you by Subaru of New England and the redesigned 2023 Subaru Ascent. By Bigelow Tea, the official hot tea of the Boston Red Sox. And by buyatoyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit buyatoyota.com. Dave O'Brien, Will Middlebrooks, and Jemiah Webster. One final time from JetBlue Park. Coming down the stretch of the last spring training game, 7-4 Atlanta. Luis De La Rosa, rookie ball and A ball last year. Young right-hander. He'll get 9, 1, and 2 for the Braves, who've been swinging away at that first pitch all day. Ref Snyder will put that away, 1 gone.
Talk about unwritten rules. That's kind of part of it. This part of spring training. Go swing the bat, bud. We don't care about that quality of bat at this point. Let's get on the bus and head back.
We know who's on the team. We know who's going to be spending part of the year in the minor leagues. Let's go.
Come on. Come on now.
Top of the order here in Kilpatrick. 0 for 1 with a K. So the Red Sox have used 5 pitchers. That included Cutter Crawford, who's going to be part of the rotation, who started the ball game today. The defeat in the Red Sox would finish up spring training 14, 14, and 4. Atlanta 18, 10, and 3. Braves last year clinching the 22nd division title in franchise history. That's the most in the major leagues, more than the Yankees in Los Angeles. 22 division titles.
I think they get a 23rd this year.
One's ripped, and Duran will play it off the bottom of the wall. And plays it well for a base hit, comes back in, and a single for Kilpatrick.
With all that the Mets did, I think the Braves still pull out that NL East. I just think all around they're a better team. Edwin Diaz being out obviously is going to cost them a few wins, in my opinion, just because of how dominant he is at the back end. Who's going to close for them? Are they going to make a trade, or is it going to be Adam Ottavino and David Robertson? And I don't know if that those are your guys to lock it down.
For a team that spent so much money and has so much invested, and I'm not saying those guys aren't quality guys, but their ability to do that, was that some time ago?
I mean, they could still win 94, 95 games and come in second in the division. That division is just that good.
Sure.
But at some point between the top 3 with Atlanta, New York, and Philly, they're going to beat up on each other. And Miami has good pitching, so they can beat you with Sandy Alcantara out there on the mound.
Phillies are banged up too, though.
They are, yeah. That's true.
Bryce Harper won't be back for a little while. Hoskins out for the year.
Hoskins out. Harper's supposed to be back end of May.
Right.
But Trey Turner, Schwarber.
Oh, yeah. They got enough.
They got Captain America right now.
Right.
Pretty sure they might have added his name to the Declaration of Independence after that.
I still miss Kyle Schwarber.
Don't we all? Swarbomb.
Oh.
He hit a few of those.
And, down in that dugout and in that clubhouse, Drew raves everywhere he's gone. Certainly did with the Red Sox.
Yeah, he's that guy. He is that guy.
Like, you make a mistake that you shouldn't make, or you miss a sign or something like that. You do it more than once. He's the guy you're talking to. He's talking to you.
Yeah. He did it the right way too.
Yeah.
You know, he's just respected everywhere he goes. He's just got that leadership quality. He has that quality that your teammates gravitate towards him. He's fun to be around too.
Philly should be a lot of fun to watch. I think the Mets will too in that division. This Atlanta team might be the class of the National League East. One on, one out. We're in the 8th. Runner goes. The throw will not be in time. Kilpatrick with a theft.
Nice catch and throw by Wong right here. I mean, puts it on a dot. Base runner just got a really good jump and beats the throw, but did everything right.
And ball 4. Puts him on at first and second. And Alvarez due up. Are you interested to see how the rule changes affect the art of stealing bases?
Oh yeah, I think we've already seen an uptick in almost what was it, 25% or so.
Quite a bit.
More stolen base attempts this spring. You see more guys safe. You're just seeing more action, which is so. Yeah, I think last year there were no 30-30 guys. Now I think we see 5 to 8 of them this year. You know, Acuna Jr., who we saw today, being one of those guys who is capable of doing that.
He had 29 last year.
Right.
Home runs weren't there, but with the bigger bases and with the limitations on pickoff throws, it's got to increase stolen bases. And
it has to.
One of the things I like about the rule changes is athleticism among players. And a lot of great athletes in Major League Baseball. And to some degree, some of these things in the past have limited,
like the shift,
their ability to show that off. Now it's making a comeback.
Yeah, it gets every bit of that. So going back to John, I got to meet John, years back in spring training, and then eventually getting to AAA. He was in Pawtucket for years. And then when they made the move to Worcester, it was about an hour-and-a-half drive for him, so he couldn't do it, which he was bummed about. But he loves coming down here. He's a great legend.
I thought that was a beautiful tribute from Jemai for John, and one of the reasons John is so well regarded is his area is where we come in to the field. So we come out of the field, watch batting practice, or talk to guys, or record our open here for spring training games. John's the one who decides whether we get on the field or not.
He leads the Grapefruit League every year in fist bumps because all the players from both teams come through there, and there he is, boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Yeah, great guy.
He is a great fella, and I love that line from Jemai. This is all about spending more time with the grandkids.
That's right.
What a wonderful reason to retire. 7-5 Atlanta. I like this too. Last couple innings of the last game, just kick back and relax, John. Grab a seat.
I think his buddy just came over and told him, hey, they're talking about you.
They're talking about you. Dearden with a pop down the line. Into foul territory. And a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it's that point in the last spring training game where the guys who came off the bench after the regulars left have now been replaced by further substitutes.
This would be the third line.
So we're deep.
Third line. There's my hockey phrase for the day. Big hockey guy from East Texas.
We're going with our 3 deep, as they say in football. And everybody got the stuff packed up, just about everything. A few items to pack away, and the Red Sox are on a charter.
Stressful days. Tommy McLaughlin and the clubhouse crew But man, those guys, they work so hard.
Hey, can we get one more look, our producer Amy Johnson, at the new clubhouse at Fenway, the new look to the clubhouse? Because I think this is outstanding and rather astounding, because all the years I've been going in that clubhouse and you've been going in that clubhouse, this is night and day.
Yeah, it's kind of looked the same for a long time. You know, they've replaced some TVs here and there, but this doesn't even look like it's Fenway Park. This looks like a brand new stadium, not a stadium that's been there for 111 years.
Little poke into left center and down for a base hit.
You know, as a player, it's so cool to be able to play baseball in a museum every day. You get to go to Fenway Park and experience the history there, but you pay for that when, you know, in the clubhouse and the food rooms and the weight room, and it wasn't as nice as most places. But now you get everything. These guys are really lucky to be able to have that.
Chang with a man on, takes a big cut and fouls it away for a strike. Sox have hit 3 home runs today, still trail 7-5. Yeah, that does not look like the same clubhouse. Every year there's something, you know, and some years it's kept a little bit of a secret, you know. So Sam Kennedy might say during spring training, hey, you guys, wait till you see this, you know, wait till you see this. But the clubhouse is going to be as dramatic as we've seen in a while of the many changes and upgrades that this ownership group has made.
Yeah, it's beyond a facelift. I mean, it's beyond that. And last year it was a whole new structure up in right field where the Nesson studio is, and, you know, that whole lookout, and that's unbelievable as well.
Quickly foul.
They do a great job of renovating, but yet keeping the bones the same, where it still looks like Fenway Park, traditional Fenway Park, but you're able to spruce it up here and there, which makes a better experience for not only the fans, but for us as well.
I'm not going to stress out Tommy, because you say it's a very busy time, but would it be great if fans got a chance to go in there, you know, walk through once in a while and see the new clubhouse?
Maybe in the offseason.
I mean, that's the bastion of the player. That's home for you guys. So I'm not going to say that should be done, but I think fans would love it. And that's your Tranquility Base. Still looking for a rally. Even here this late spring training. Got a cold one going. And a cut and a miss. He comes up empty. Out number 2. We're in the last half of the 8th inning. Red Sox in Atlanta. Sox will open up, of course, at Fenway on Thursday. These Braves will open up in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals.
Cal Gibson for the Orioles going. Corey Kluber fired up for real baseball.
Indeed.
There it is. Making memories with your boys. Special.
Oh, 2. See, of the 3 of them, of course, Dad's the goofiest, right? That's how it works.
They got to get it from somewhere.
Naturally. Rev Snyder on deck. 1 and 2, 2 down. Socked into center field. Good wood on that, but enough room for Kilpatrick to make the play. 1-run home on the blast. Back in Fort Myers, top half of the 9th inning. Atlanta leading the Red Sox 7-5. Jared Carrabis is back this season, giving you a behind-the-scenes look at all things Red Sox with Like a Pro. Exclusively on NESN 360, we check out what he's been up to.
right, TC, we're in the trenches right now. We had a lefty up right there, Max Kepler, and the first thing I asked you was, am I in a danger zone? The answer was unequivocally yes.
100%. You are closer than any infielder to Max Kepler, all right? You're not going to have a lot of time to react, and you don't have a glove, so be ready.
And I'm not particularly good even if I did have a glove, so.
What I've learned is you just got to be good enough to get out of the way. Don't try to make the play. Avoid the baseball.
Head on a swivel.
Broken bat. Base hit for Verdugo in the left.
TC's about to do a hit right now. I'm probably going to get in the mix. It's been a long offseason. A little nervous for my debut this year.
Watch all the full episodes from Like a Pro on NESN 360, presented by Blue Moon.
Atlanta hitting against Theo Denlinger, who's the new Sox pitcher. And the Braves up by 2. And a 9th inning here at JetBlue. We've seen 23 hits in the game. Atlanta has 12. And the everyday players have long since gotten their work in and departed. And a cut and a miss for strike 3. 1 down in the 9th.
Just the good old #1 right there. Gasolina.
Here's your man, the veteran Pilar.
I feel like he doesn't fit in right now. It's a lot of young guys on the field, and then you drop Kevin Pilar in there, which will be an important bench piece for them this year.
A guy we knew as a regular and everyday player for many, many years. He'll take a ball. Adrianza on deck. Tom Caron and you and the great Hall of Famer Jim Rice will be in studio on opening day.
That's pretty cool. I get to work with Jim Ed. I mean, TC too. I mean, 2 legends. Jim on the field, TC off. But man, got to even it out with his greatness, and you bring me in there just to even it out.
Jim, one of my all-time favorite players, all time.
He's so fun to hang out with.
And that was like my era as a kid. And I know I'm not alone in this, but you know, coming up with the Gold Dust Twins, with Jim and Freddie Lynn, all those guys.
Dewey,
of course, one of the classiest guys I ever saw. I mean, that whole group of guys. Yaz was always my #1 guy, and all of those guys were right there. But you know, Jim Rice, for man, when he was an MVP and for many years, it just terrified opposing teams. As Pilar goes down on strikes. So I'm like you. You know, Jim will come in and he'll like bring donuts when we're back in the building. And in a couple of seasons where we were doing games during COVID, back inside the studios in NESN, and Jim would bring donuts. And you're like, Jim Rice is bringing us donuts. Deep fly. That one has a chance way back there to the triangle. It's going to be off the wall. And that's going to be 2 bases. Adrianza romps into second. And that's been a hot corner out there all day.
It's seen action. Ton of traffic.
Duran playing center.
He just about ran it down. It's a tough play because you have to decelerate. We're not in the regular season right now, and you're not going to go full speed into the wall on the last day of spring training. But he just about runs it down. In season, I think he's a little more aggressive into the wall there and gives a little better effort. But last day of spring training, you don't need to be out there running into walls.
1-1 up top. I haven't asked you yet. Who's your favorite coming out of the National League? Are you a believer that the Padres are the team to beat, or is it again the Dodgers?
I think we're looking at them today.
Atlanta?
I think it's Atlanta. Especially once Soroka's back. Kyle Wright is back. I mean, those guys are, I don't think they're going to be out long. It doesn't seem that way. Their rotation is good. Raisel Iglesias back out there in the bullpen now that Kinley's gone. He'll be closing. And then you see their lineup. I mean, 1 through 9, they're dangerous.
Out number 3, 1 man left. Red Sox coming up, needing 2 to
place. For articles, analysis, and podcasts for the latest odds and advice, your best bet is on NESSonBets.com.
Last 7 of the 9th on the way. Perhaps the last you will see of any baseball between now and opening day. We'll have it for you right here on NESSON. Thursday afternoon at 2:10 for the real thing. Start of 162 games. 7-5 Atlanta. Trey Riley is the new pitcher for the Braves. Has he already been given a delay here?
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's already ball 1.
Jeez.
He was not ready to pitch. So the home plate umpire.
Was he in Clearwater yesterday for the Phillies? My goodness. Did you see that one of Real Muto?
All right, explain what happened there when he got thrown out of the game.
Kimbrel had a time violation, which he didn't like. He then asked for a new ball. The umpire immediately threw the ball back to Kimbrel to give him a new ball. Kimbrel didn't like that ball, threw it out, asked for one more. And Realmuto put his glove up for it, but then he went, oh, wait, he's going to throw it to him. So he put the glove down.
Look at this.
Yeah. And then he tosses him. I mean, El Sensitivo.
Realmuto's like, what just happened? I was just,
He's like, well, dude, I'm trying to get my work in. It's a clear misunderstanding, and he runs him. Realmuto then left the game, walked all the way down the track and was fist pumping to the crowd, made a total mockery out of it, which it should have been.
Right.
That was a disaster.
Regardless of who was catching, but that's an all-star catcher.
I mean, come on.
That's one of the best players in baseball.
It's just so tired. He's getting his work in. You really, your skin is that thin.
That was a joke. Now, strike 3 here on the swing and a miss. 1 man gone for the Sox in the 9th inning. The umpire was not a regular major league umpire.
AAA umpire. Yeah. Which I get, but I get being with the clock. You have to be strict with that. The league told him that, but that has nothing to do with it. That was just quick trigger.
You're talking about that play in Clearwater. This is an enforcement of rules. What we just saw. You've got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
When that clock runs out in between innings and they reset it at 20 seconds or 15 seconds in this case. Well, it'll be 2 up and 2 down. 2 fast outs in the last half of the 9th inning. Atlanta closing in on a win, which would be their 18th for the spring. They've had a very, very good spring training. Red Sox had that long stretch of being unbeaten. Eventually, if they drop here, they'll finish at 14, 14, and 4. And another violation here on the pitcher, and that's going to be ball 1.
We have brought up the average of violations in this game today. There's been 4 or 5
There's been 4 or 5. And they had gone way down. They've been cut in half since the early days of spring.
1.06 per game since the last week. Well,
wouldn't you think that today instead would have gone by in warp speed?
Atlanta tried. They swung at everything.
Did. Opening day on Thursday. Can't wait for that. I don't care how long you've been involved in the game. As long as someone like the great Joe Castiglione or myself, which is 33 years now, there's nothing like opening day. It's the best.
Oh, I'm fired up. I can't wait. I wish I was playing, but hey, man, this is the next best thing, I guess.
Ball 4. So Cavadas will take the base, and the Red Sox are still alive. Christian Koss will climb in.
Everybody in the dugout's going, man, come on, stop being selfish. Swing the bat.
Swing the bat. Let's go. Still got packing to do.
I can't go in there.
There he is.
Righty's 0-1, runner goes and foul away. Well, we saw Rafi Devers hit a spring training home run the other day, and today Red Sox hit a couple of them. Casas got one. He wound up with 4 for the spring. And Masa Yoshida with a 2-run homer in the first inning. Runner takes off again and will have second. I thought pitching wise, the biggest thing I saw today was Schreiber throwing the ball so well.
You nailed it. That's exactly what it was. That was super important.
Waved at and miss. That is strike 3, and the Grapefruit League is over for the Boston Red Sox. 7-5, Atlanta wins it. The next time we talk to you, Will, it's going to be for real.
That's right. I can't wait. And you said it. Biggest part of today, Schreiber looked great in his last tune-up for the season. The offense, the big names, the guys who are going to be in there every day look great, swung the bat well. They're ready to go.
Red Sox opening day coming up on Thursday afternoon from Fenway. Tune in starting at 12:30 for 90 minutes of pregame, including full coverage of the opening day ceremony from Fenway Park, followed by first pitch at 2 on NESN. I'll have that along with Kevin Euclid, so you can stream it live on the NESN 360 app. Will enjoyed it very much.
Hey, that was a blast. Let's go get them.
See you on Thursday, my friend, and everyone else as well from Fenway. For Will and Jemai, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks for being with us, folks. Thursday, it counts. Thanks for being with us. Have a great night, everybody.